the energetic and strong mother. Yamato, the younger brother who's always in his own little world. Follow us as we karate kick all your daily frustrations away. Asuka's revenge.
My name is Kotomi. Right around a year of being married to my husband, Yuji, I was able to get pregnant. Then, Yuji said,
"We're going to be moving to my parents' place next month. I'm going to be transferring over to the branch that's closer to their house."
He gave me no choice. Really? I had no time to even think about it. We moved in with my in-laws. I moved back to his parents' house alone before he came back. And so I ended up being there alone for 3 months. I wasn't bullied or anything, but I was nervous because it was the first time I'd been pregnant. My in-laws lived in the countryside and my parents were 2 hours away from here. My dad and mom, my brother and his wife were too far to casually go visit. I was just lonely. And then, finally, Yuji started living with us. We can finally live together again. I was so sad with us being apart.
Yeah.
However, I barely had any time to be happy.
All right, I'm gonna head out.
Again? He often went out every night with his local best friend.
Yuji had always gotten along really well with his best friend.
True.
My in-laws had informed me about my husband and his best friend. Apparently, he gets along really well with her, and they never tried to tell him to stop hanging out with her. Every night, I would do some chores and take a bath before I quietly read books to get ready for the child. I hope your daddy stays at home more often after you're born. I'm going to be with you forever. I was so glad to have the child with me, though. My husband would sometimes come home super late as well. Come on, you're going out literally every night. I understand if you're going out every weekend, but you're going out during the week too.
I can't hang out with my best friend if I have kids. I don't need this right now. I have a good buzz going. Don't kill it.
I knew that getting too angry wasn't good for the child, so I think I was often trying to avoid arguments entirely with my husband. Time went on before I knew it. I was 8 months pregnant. Oh, Yuji forgot his wallet. When I went to his company to deliver something he had forgotten, I found him sitting with a woman at a nearby park. He's eating a different bento than the one I made for him. What's going on? I didn't say anything to him or give him his belongings. I just went back home. Where is my bento? Something is so very off. When I got back to the house, I ran to my room and looked through the bag that he always took when he went out. There was a bunch of receipts, several of which were from the love hotels. You're cheating, huh? I figured. There's no way that made any sense. I was worried about my child, so I didn't want to get too depressed. But I couldn't talk about this to anyone. I mean, maybe Asuka-san will cheer me up. I called my brother's wife, Aska.
Kotomi-chan, what's up? How's the baby?
Asuka-san, I'm not sure, but I told Asuka-san everything about what I had found out today. The going out every night, the receipts, and how I was worried about the baby.
I can't believe it. You're 8 months in your term, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be okay. I'm here for you.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to Ryota and his parents if they'd be okay with you coming home to have the baby.
Yeah? Thank you so much, Asuka-san. I was able to calm down after talking to Asuka-san. That night, my husband came home and immediately took off after taking a shower. Afterwards, I checked his bag and his notebook. It's definitely an affair. I found a woman's personal info and some photos, along with proof that they were being intimate with each other. the woman I saw him with at work today is his best friend, his first love, and his ex-girlfriend. Yeah, they didn't say man or woman. His parents kept saying they got along well since they were young, which means they knew that his best friend was a girl too. That night, he came home drunk as usual and snored on the couch while I checked his phone. I saw a bunch of photos that were inexcusable and transferred them onto my phone. I always thought that this was an invasion of privacy, so I left it alone, but his whole family has been playing me for a fool this whole time. The woman he was seeing is Rika. According to a long-winded message from her, they broke up once because she couldn't have kids, but being the eldest son, he had to have a child. Then, what Yuji came up with was that he would marry someone, have the child, then divorce and take the child as his own. I also learned that his parents were in on this whole plan as well. I was trembling out of anger after finding all of this out. I can't handle this. I found out everything. He's totally guilty. Help! It was the middle of the night, but I texted Asuka-san immediately. I sent her all of the screenshots from the messages and the proof of his affair.
Ugh, I cannot let this go. I'm going to go pick you up, and I'm going to take everyone with me. I'm sure you probably can't sleep, but at least lie down and close your eyes. You'll at least get some rest.
Okay.
What time does he come home usually?
Around 7 p.m., but he's out by 9 p.m.
Okay, we're going to pick you up. You make sure you pack everything important you need, okay?
I believed her and cried while lying down alone. I, of course, got no sleep. The next day, I didn't get anything from Asuka-san, but the doorbell rang around 7 p.m. My mother-in-law answered.
Kotomi-san, your parents and brother, along with his wife, are here.
She seemed a little surprised when she called me. When I went to the entrance, Dad, Mom, my brother, and Aska were all there. I honestly was about to cry out of relief.
It's been so long. What happened?
Oh, nothing. I just spoke to my sister-in-law yesterday, and she said she's been feeling a little sick recently, so I figured we'd come pick her up so she can have the baby at our house. That's fine, right?
No, she's supposed to have it here.
Yeah, you could have talked to us. Oh, it might have been a little tough for her to tell you guys since you're her husband's parents. Sorry for the sudden arrival without any notice.
My sister seems pretty tough, but she's actually pretty sensitive. Hey, you want to do that, Kotomi? You want to have it here, right?
He looked at me angrily. I was unsure of how to answer, but
No, we're taking her. If she comes with us, she won't be so lonely at night.
they couldn't say anything about it and sent me off. I took my belongings and headed out to the car without looking back. For 5 minutes or so after the car left the house, no one said anything. Asuka-san broke the silence.
You never have to go back.
Yeah.
I heard what was happening from Asuka-san. I hired a PI already to work the case.
I have a good lawyer too, so don't worry about it.
I started crying, and everyone was a little worried and unsure of what to do. I was at home for the first time in a while. It was so warm.
There's a lot of your favorite food here.
Thanks.
Go ahead and hang out in the kotatsu. You didn't sleep last night, right?
I was able to give birth to the child. A healthy boy. I pretend that my husband doesn't exist and continued to live at my parents' house. We did all of the traditional things without them, and right around the 5-month mark after his birth.
Hey, when are you coming home? Hurry up!
Yeah, How long are you going to be relaxing at your parents' house?
You're being spoiled! Ugh, this is why I don't like women nowadays.
Okay, we'll go home once. I went back with my parents, Aska and my brother. They had invited a bunch of relatives to show off the child, and there was a large feast prepared for us. At first, everything was nice because they talked about the child, but eventually, they started taking jabs at me.
They say that women nowadays have no sense of responsibility.
Actually, there's a good reason that we came here with our whole family today.
We presented the results of the investigation from the PI.
This is...
Thankfully, for the 5 months or so that I stayed with my parents, this best friend had moved to his parents' house, and there was more than enough proof.
Do you mind explaining this before you start taking jabs at my daughter? This is the woman that he was fooling around with every night after they've been married, right?
Oh, honey, you don't have to be so mean. They can't explain after this. I mean, really, what excuse do you have?
They fell silent, and the relatives were all looking through the documents, shocked.
You are going to chase out your wife after you make her have the baby? How terrible are you?
Yuji, what's going on? Explain yourself!
You're sitting here talking about how my daughter won't go home to your nasty house? Who would want to come home to this? I don't believe it. You made your pregnant wife live with your parents while you fool around with your mistress every night? You're irredeemable. I didn't realize they were this insane. I'm so sorry, Kotomi-san. You must have been so lonely.
There was nothing left for my family to even say. His relatives were furious about this, and I didn't want my baby crying, so I moved to a different room to feed him. I could hear them yelling from the other room. One man, the brother of my father-in-law, said,
Bring the mistress now!
I could hear that clearly. Outside of that, I couldn't hear the details. The result was that my husband and the woman would both pay me everything in damages and child support.
I'm so sorry you had to deal with this when you just came by to see your grandchild. Please don't apologize. I am so sorry for everything that's been done to your daughter. Although I had no clue, I'm truly regretful of what happened.
They had already sorted out the details about money and parental rights. They were signing documents and everything.
We will contact you at a later date about the paperwork and whatnot. If my younger brother tries to pull anything, let me know right away.
Clearly, we had made a strong ally. We left the house after everything was said and done.
I thought that I was going to help out, but we didn't even need to help out. His relatives were all on our side.
I mean, can you really blame them? I could never forgive my relatives for that. The fact that it's my own relative would make it worse.
I've never seen you get that mad, though.
Me neither. Me too.
Me three.
That's how I successfully got divorced and started living with my parents. About half a year after the divorce, the angry brother of my now ex-husband's father contacted us.
No one in this family is dealing with that family anymore. They're the shame of the family. We're in the country. Everyone knows everyone. Apparently, the mistress is being scolded by everyone, and they're gonna leave the area.
Thank you so much for helping us till the end. We're going to raise the child well. According to his story, Yuji and his best friend broke it off with each other immediately, and the woman couldn't go back to her home. Yuji is now always alone at work and in private.
If that family does anything to you, let me know right away. I'm sure there wouldn't be a wife that would want to live with that terrible family. It's not just you either. I'm not gonna let them get away with it against everyone.
Thank you for watching all the way till the end. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. See you next time!